Yo, what's up, homies? It's your boy, Luke's aka Recruiter, and today I'm back with another video. It's been a while. This will be a quick little update and thank you video. It really has been a while, though, with long-form content. This is sort of the catalyst, though, I'm not gonna lie. Well, actually, I don't know when this is coming out. So, we'll see. It'll either come out before or after the videos. I'm basically stacking up on videos again and getting long-form content ready, as well as short-form content ready. I'm planning on doing both at the same time, but that's not really what this update is about. Let's keep things in order first. All right. First things first. Thank you for, it's going to be different and it's going to be on the screen. Thank you for 178 subscribers and 70,283 views at the time of watching this. Well, as the time of recording this. It's, like I said on the screen, more than likely changed slightly. If not, that's fine. Overall, it's crazy to think about because I've been recently on a huge reflection sort of spree looking back on things, and I didn't really I've tried to not focus on numbers, and I really haven't been for a while, so much so that it's only really hit me recently that I have done a lot of the stuff that I said I was going to do, and that feels weird because I said I was going to break 100 before, and I have. And when it comes down to the view count, I don't even pay attention to the overall one really like that. It's crazy to think about because you put it in perspective that even one person watches it a video, or one person subscribes, and then you when you put that all together, and it really can fuck with you a little bit. It's damn, you get so used to seeing numbers as this sort of arbitrary thing that sort of fucks with your concepts of how it relates to people or how it relates to things in general. It'd be oh, it ain't a lot if you got this or that, but when you put it into perspective and you take it and you just bring it down to the base level, you sort of end up with a weird gratefulness for anything. And it's sort of where I am right now, mind wise. It's crazy to, it's hard to put into words. It's crazy to notice and fully take time to actually take it in versus just being it's just blah, 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 blah. So I want to say thank you for anyone who is here. Overall, thank you. Now, a little bit of an update. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. No guarantees, but it probably should be. I'm going to be doing more short form and short form and long form content. Short form wise, you guys got 2 whole months where I just did full short form. That was not planned. I originally said I was just going to do I think 2-3 weeks, and then it just turned into me doing 2 months because I had a lot of stuff in the backlog. So now it's me stocking up on that again. Hopefully I can get everything together before the certain time period, but I plan on getting everything together and then dropping everything again. But I first have to get into the schedule of everything again. That's the big thing. But long form content wise, I'm going to be doing the normal. I'll dive a little bit more into that in a moment. But short form content, I'm going to probably continue sort of making it sporadic and me jumping around from the old videos, as well as I'll be dropping new content in as well. So you'll see stuff, for example, I have some literally ready right now, short form wise, that is of content that is not out yet. So it may drop before the videos and it may not. I don't know how exactly everything's going to line up schedule wise, but it is something I have pretty much planned to do. So expect the shorts to continue. I'll be continuing to do them on shorts on YouTube as well as TikToks. They'll be probably around the same videos. I don't think I'll swap them up or anything like that. And then long form content, we're getting into it, literally leads into the next little bit I wanted to talk about. I have a little list of just topics for me to go over because these are the big things, is the update on the horror content. Now, I've been doing horror on the channel for a long time, and that's not changing. What is sort of, I'm thinking about the series and everything. Now, I'm continuing Haunting Ground. That's not changing. I want to finish the game, and I'm very much into the game. I'm very much questioning if I want to finish the series as a whole. If you remember, we're doing the whole going around the world playing horror games thing. Now, since I've been very much sporadic with uploads, I think I started this thing 2 years ago. Since I've been sporadic with uploads and my focus has been split with multiple other things, and me getting good at other things, focusing on other things that I want to build up, It's now more of a matter of, do I want to come back and finish it, or do I want to hop to another thing? I have another thing in mind, and it's fully on me to decide in between the two, but I, of course, am also throwing it towards you guys to sort of steer me a bit. It is in between me continuing the trip. I remember if I continue the trip, we're going to Europe next after Japan. So after Haunting Ground, I'd be doing some European horror games, which I have some lined up. I believe Maid of Skiers one. I remember I talked about potentially doing Song of Horror. I don't think that's the one I'm going to do. I know I'll throw it into the world, but I doubt it. I remember me and I talked to Portable Nope about this. He probably doesn't even remember it. I remember I brought up to him back then that maybe we do something like House of Ashes or Man of Medan, one of those games together in that realm or ballpark for that group. As well as there's a slew of other games I have that I can literally throw in there that I already have. It wouldn't even be a matter of purchasing them. It's a matter of I already have them and just haven't played them yet. Like I know, oh my god, it's gonna kill me. What is that game? Fuck. Absolov? There it is. Absolov, as well as the game that led up to it. I have both. I have that and Absolov, and I forget who made those. But there's that. I have a whole bunch of games basically in the backlog that I can play. I just haven't played. So now it's more of a, do I finish up? If I finish up, it's Japan, Europe, and I think there's another place, but I don't remember where. Not up top. I remember it was 3 locations. Japan, then we're going somewhere else, and then somewhere else. I know the games I can do in Europe, and it's a matter of, do you guys want that content? If I do, I'll probably make it the same way I've been changing up now with Haunting Ground recently. At least you guys haven't seen it yet. So to give you a concept, I'm bringing it back to how I edited Resident Evil, which means it's going to be very video styled. And I mean video like TV episode styled. Basically last time, which I've been doing that since way the fuck back. But I mean like fully structured. I storyboard these out, go in through them, have a list of songs that may even become sort of like like almost associated with it, because they'll be almost formulaic in a sense. If you want another example of that, that'd be like my Ninja Gaiden 2 series, or it's Gaiden, but you get the point. That series would also be another example. There was this, if you watch those videos, there's intro, you can see what I'm doing, and then at a certain point there's the same little bit, okay, here's the boss fight, here's this. And those will be very structured around a particular thing happening in the game or a boss fight in and of itself. They may be on the longer side, but I think they're structured way better than me not structuring them like that. So that'll be the sort of content you'll be getting from me in terms of long form stuff. And in terms of the other series, so I can get back on track because I forgot to mention that. In terms of the other series or other things that I'm planning on doing, I'm thinking that instead of doing the horror trip around the world and going to Europe, or we could go to Europe and we stop it there instead of going to a third location, I could do a whole nother thing in a whole nother series where I deep dive into old horror games that nobody wants to play, or old forgotten classics that people are very much unaware of because it's just been a while, or they just haven't been touched on. It's been so long that, well, most people, since they aren't talking about them, they've sort of fallen into being more cult classics or only big in the horror sphere. So many people are unaware of them outside of this. Now, I know doing stuff like this doing games like that isn't one that'll get noticed by everyone, and one that gets pushed in the algorithm. I don't really give a damn about that. I do to some degree, right? But at the same time, it's a matter of like creating good content and having fun with it, and that's fun to me. And if you guys would like that kind of content, I wouldn't mind it being a thing that I do as well. Maybe, I don't know, let's say it becomes another series that I do all together that's not even connected to anything. And it's just like let's hop to another old game that people don't know about. And some of them people know about that are just really hard, that are old games. Like, for example, I believe Siren is one of the games people regard as Siren, Darkwood. Is it Darkwood, I believe? People regard as like one of like a really hard game, but a really good horror game. Siren, I've heard people say, is like really scary. So that's another example. I'll be taking a lot of games like that, or games that you may not even have heard of. Galarians is another one. And basically going through them and having a full-on, probably short playthrough of them depending on how long they are or not. I'll try to also structure them very much the same way that I talked about with Haunting Ground and everything. So it would be, I've seen people do video essays on them. I haven't watched those videos, but I've seen people do that kind of approach on them. I want to actually just full on play them, just because I feel like they're old enough and they're getting to a point where they're just going to be forgotten and no one's going to play them. And a lot of them aren't going to get remasters. So it's the way to sort of almost preserve in a way, at least for me. One, I get to play them beforehand, but it's also the matter of I play them, and just in case you never get your hands on them, you get to see the game and what it's about, at least. And you get to actually see someone play it rather than it just being a talk about it. Even if the game is extremely hard, I'll go ahead and play through it. So you know, I'll be the one suffering. You see me suffer, but you don't have to suffer. It's a different kind of suffering. It's like watching someone play a Souls game. You're not the one suffering. And if you did play the game, you're with them in the suffering, enjoying the suffering, or, you know, upset in the suffering the same way they are. Anyways, you get the point. I'm thinking that's another series that I'll end up doing. Like I said, I don't know if it'll be in and of itself independent or if I drop the around the world concept for it. Anything like that at all, you guys can help me come up with. But I think I'm leaning towards potentially stopping after Europe. Because I don't think I have I would have to look it up and see if I have the next set planned. If I have the next set planned, which I probably do, then I'll go ahead and do it, get that all finished and complete, and then we'll hop into this concept of a series. If I don't, maybe this will become an in-between little thing that I do to spice up little bits of uploads, because I know some of those games are pretty short. I believe Galarians is 4 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's like 4 hours of gameplay. So that would be, depending on how long I make it and depending on how long everything is in the game, that could be literally 2-3 videos, or, you know, sort of 6 if it was more on the 30-minute side. Overall, though, that's what I'm planning on doing with that kind of stuff. And concept-wise, now you guys have a concept of where I'm trying to lean. Now, I know I've been very sporadic with uploads. It's a problem. The big problem is I have been doing things every fucking where. And that becomes a hard thing to manage. It's very hard to get everything to a point where you're trying to learn something, practice something, do this thing whilst also doing this thing. And it's very much a thing that I'm trying to get better at. It's something that is the thing right now that is forcing me to grow a lot. So I think I'm not going to promise anything because I know how I am. And I've promised too much on this channel to the point now where I feel like it holds little to no value for me to say, yeah, I'm gonna promise this or that, and I'm gonna do this or that, because I've said that thing before and did not fucking did it. So this is more of a mental promise towards me, and also a telling towards you of things that go on in the background. If I am missing uploads, know that it is either one of 2 to 3 things. One, I'm doing something in the back that completely pertains nothing towards what is on this channel. Maybe I've been thinking about literally giving them their own designated channel, so it gives me, or channels or mediums online, so it guarantees that I'm constantly putting it somewhere. And then, of course, that makes it so everything ties into me having to pay attention to it. 2, I'm doing something that I can't talk about. Hard to put that into perspective, where you would understand what I mean, but I don't think I could say more than that. Let's just say that at times, and I don't mean anything like illegal, at times, I try to do things very much. I have a very strong sense of, not strong sense, I have a very large ambition. And I reach out to do things that I can consider probably above my wheelhouse. I don't know if that's me being humble or me downplaying concepts of skills that I believe I have either. But I am constantly reaching towards crazier things. And at times, that means I do things that take up all my fucking time. So for like example, you guys have heard me do voice shit for like a long fucking time. Randomly, let's say I end up doing something for voice acting. If I end up slacking on videos, you know why. There, you know, if I'm fucking voicing something, that would lean into it very much so. It'd be like, oh, okay, I'm focusing on this. This is the main focus right now. I got to do this. This is the job. It's like that. That's what I mean by if I disappear and I can't talk about it. That would be more associated with things like NDAs and whatnot. And me being mainly focused on other concepts that I have associated. And then that would be the thing that I'm doing. And it's pretty obvious what's going on there. I'll try to probably get back into posting more on social media so you guys can get to know what I'm doing there in places. It's not something I do often. I stay off of those things more so now. It's weird. I was very much into them when I was younger. Now I'm to the point where it's an added layer of like stress or drama. And I'm like, ugh. Why deal with that? So for me, maybe I'll get back into posting on them and being like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm not doing, and whatnot and whatnot. I'll try to keep you posted if anything big like that happens, especially big like that and it ends up being a hindrance towards uploads or something. If it's a hindrance I can't talk about, well, I'm sorry. It may happen. I have a particular thing in my mind that I can't talk about. But if that does happen, I don't think it'll happen this month. But if it does happen in the future, if you keep your eyes open, you'll very quickly know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you won't know. Well, there'll be signs of it, potentially, but you might not know what I'm talking about. And thus, this becomes a very vague conversation. Anyways, getting away from the vague concepts and the teasing and the things that I may be doing and all that shit. Overall, I'm also bringing back the old branding bits that have been sort of used in the past. When I said I was doing the old editing things, I'm bringing back the song that I used. It's not even mine, but the song that I the song that I used for my boss fights in Resident Evil. I love the fucking soundtrack. That is one of my favorite fucking soundtracks. I use it for Ninja Gaiden 2 as well. My boss fights. Did I use it in boss fights? I used it in the trials, but I love that song. That will be one. I'm bringing back the old calling card with the swords and shit involved. I'm bringing back a lot of things. I've also delved into getting Fusion back up and running with DaVinci. So now I'm actually feeling more confident there as if I'm editing in After Effects again. So I'm getting back into my bag with a lot of little things that makes me be able to do things at higher levels again. So, in other words, I'm gonna probably be giving new shit on a higher level again for a while. But first, the fucking first thing, and it's the hurdle, is getting over how the fuck I fit that into my time schedule. Isn't that just like the number one thing for everyone? Like finding out the fucking way you fit it into your time slots. But I'm gonna try to make it work. That's all I can do. That's all we can do. That's the plan. Make it work, make it fix. And that's it. That's literally all this was about. All I wanted this to be about was a quick update. I say quick, this has been 20 minutes. A quick update about all the shit, whilst also rambling and going into the depth that I can think of on the sort of spot. Once again, on the spot, I've thought this shit through maybe about 30 times. So, hopefully, you guys enjoyed, I guess, my little ramble spiel about the future and the present. And if you did, click that like button. I don't know why you would subscribe, but if you want, hit the subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys next video. Other than that, hope you guys have a great day. And I will catch you homies next Low Tide.
Fuck this scene. Fuck the whole world trying to step on my dreams. Heard you talk shit, now you fucking with me. Reaper that seal couldn't contain the beast. 10-tail bomb, I'm Ginger a key. Fuck your whole team, they all fell with ease. I'm a black cyclone, run through the trees. I will rank that, just fall to your knees.